Hello, Florida Virtual Academy. My name is Donna J. I'm a certified teacher in special education K-12 and also a certified teacher in elementary education K-6. My first experience fresh out of college was that of special education teacher. I taught a resource room. That meant that students would come and go throughout the day, depending on the subject that they needed instruction and support in my classroom. The rest of the time they spent in the regular classroom. I often had to work with students in 1st through 6th grade and had to juggle quite a few different IEPs and objectives, but that was an interesting experience and one that I learned a great deal from. Moving on in the career path, I had a position as instructional support teacher. That was something I transitioned to after some years in special education. Instructional support is one that is directly supporting students in the classroom based on identification initially of at-risk students by the classroom teacher. I would go in and do observations and probes of academic skills, as well as use data the teachers have collected to determine what types of interventions can be done to help support a student to become more successful in their classroom. Later, I became master teacher. I am a trainer and facilitator of best practices, skills, and strategies that teachers can use in their classroom. I'm fortunate to be able to attend many in-services and workshops and do turnaround training with my colleagues. Much of the time I spend mentoring and coaching them in the skills we learn in the trainings. Additionally, I have been an instructor, faculty member at the University of Phoenix for the past 7 years, teaching students completely online that are working adults, and my courses involve writing and communication. Today I've decided to choose a strategy for younger grade students in prediction. Prediction strategies are good for students with good habits and good readers to know, because they can be used as a way to access prior knowledge and know what a book might be about, even by just looking at its cover. And that is the focus of the lesson for today. Today, I would like to talk about what good readers do and the good habits they have when they read or look at a book. We're going to be looking at this book cover. This book cover has some words on it, but it also has pictures that help us. First, we know the author's name is Colin McNaughton. And the title of the book at the top is Suddenly. Now, looking at the pictures we can figure out what might be something we can connect with that has to do with something we have seen or experienced ourselves. That will help us to know what this book may be about as we look at the cover. Predicting helps readers think about, understand what they read. Predictions can be made before opening a book because the title and pictures help to provide clues. As I look at this book cover, I see two images that are very dark and one that shows a little pig. The large, very dark image doesn't look very nice. It actually looks like it has big teeth and claws. Then I see the little pig. And the little pig has an image. That image beside him, I would say, is his shadow. I know about shadows. When I go outside on a sunny day, I often see my shadow. It follows me everywhere I go, just like it is this little pig. But this bigger shadow, with the scary looking claws and teeth, I wonder what that could be. It reminds me of something that I read once. It had to do with 3 little pigs and a wolf. Maybe that wolf has something to do with the pig. he certainly doesn't look like it's going to be a very nice event for the pig, the way that shadow appears to us. I wonder what you think. When you look at the picture more closely, do you see things that I may or not have seen? Do you know what this story may be about just looking at its book cover? Think for a moment. Okay, let's share some of our ideas. Great! I'm glad you thought about some things that I didn't think of, and some of us are making connections with things we already know. That's important when we look at a book cover. Sometimes it helps us to know the title, and oftentimes it helps us to know what the pictures show us. When we look at books and we find them in our classroom, in our guided reading, at the bookstore, in a public library, the book title and the pictures it shows will help us to predict what the book might be about by using clues. We can try and connect what we know with what we see on the book title and cover. That's today. Make sure we do that as we approach our guided reading books. These are books you haven't seen before, and that would be a good strategy to use at that point, as well as any other time when we come across books that we have not read before. Use those clues to help you figure out what the story might be about.